Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. When the World of Warcraft Legion rocks around at some point next year, although we don't know too much about it right now, one thing that we are aware of is the fact that the Horde and the Alliance will be devastated when the Legion invades. So much so that people will actually be turning towards us in an effort to save Azeroth. And I'm not saying that we're not up to the task, but if we are the last great hope of this world, then that definitely sounds as if some of our heroes have fallen. So in this video, I'm going to go through my top 5 picks of who I think Blizzard are at least hinting may be up for the chopping block and what I think their chances are of being bumped off during the Legion expansion. First up, we have King Varian Rin, leader of the Alliance. And although Blizzard haven't said anything about this chap's storyline in Legion, his fate though might be sealed by that of his son's storyline, Anduin Rin. Now, I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that Anduin is by far a more beloved character than his headstrong, stubborn, aggressive, warlike father. And in actual fact, in an effort to make him more likeable to his audience, Blizzard have actually had Varian defer to Anduin's better judgment in recent storylines. But some people can't be reasoned with, and the Legion are one of those. And I think that Anduin is desperately going to try to use a diplomatic solution to stop the invasion of Azeroth. And it may come at the expense of his father's life. But this also opens up the pathway for Anduin to become the King of Stormwind and the potential leader of the whole Alliance, and that would definitely cater for some massive fan service. So the chances that Varian Rin is going to be offed in Legion, I think they're pretty high, and I'm going to give it a staggering 75% chance of him being bumped off and Anduin being forced to take up the mantle of leadership. Next up, we have Sylvanas, Windrunner, and Blizzard do like to balance their books, so if Varian Rin does go on the Alliance side, then I think Sylvanas is a prime candidate to balance that on the Horde side. Firstly, she's been underutilised for many years. Secondly, we know that she's going to be a key player in Legion. And thirdly, she is literally living on borrowed time at the moment. After Cataclysm, she was actually murdered and killed during the storyline, and her Valkyria actually resurrected her back from the darkness. But she's only got a few of these left, as they have to sacrifice their lives to bring her back from the dead. So Sylvanas has a big decision to make in Legion. Does she forsake her own people to save her own soul, or does she go out in a blaze of glory saving the Forsaken race at the expense of her own life? The thing here, though, is if she goes down the selfish route, she might survive Legion, but that would actually make her an antagonist, and the likelihood is she would be next on the chop list for us as players. So whichever way you look at it, I think Sylvanas' fate has been already set in stone, and I'm going to stick a huge 85% chance of Sylvanas being killed during Legion. Third, we have Tyrion Fordring. Now, you might say to yourself, Az, come on, what's Tyrion ever done to you? The guy helped us defeat the Lich King, and after that, he retired nicely away to New Hearthglen to enjoy, whatever remaining years the chap's got left. Why do I want to drag him back into the mix and put him as a potential target to be killed off in Legion? Well, it all goes to artifact weaponry. And the 3 biggest artifact weapons, I believe, that are arriving in the next expansion is Doomhammer, which we'll get onto the next guy. Then we've got Frostmourne, which is being hacked into 2 smaller swords for Death Knights. And then the Ashbringer. I think they're the 3 most recognisable weaponries which are being brought in. But the thing is, when Blizzard were giving some information about the artifacts and the few that we know so far, when it came to mentioning the Ashbringer, spoiler alert, it was said that it was found on the body of a fallen warrior. Now, it would be very contrived indeed if Tyrion Fordring was to palm off the Ashbringer onto somebody else within the Argent Crusade and send them off to fight the Legion. No, I think that Tyrion grabbed the Ashbringer, took up arms with the rest of his Argent Crusade folks, decided to attack the Legion who were advancing in Azeroth, and I think he was cut down. I think he was cut down, and it is his body which the Ashbringer is found on and then brought to Light's Hope Chapel or wherever, and therefore taken up by Reti Paladins in Legion. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give Tyrion Fordring an ironclad 100% chance of being offed in Legion. I think he's the most obvious of obvious targets. Which leads us on to our fourth potential victim, Green Jesus himself, Thrall. And a few people might be a little bit worried now considering what I've just said about Tyrion Fordring and also the fact that we will be able to wield the Doomhammer weapon in Legion. Well, this is where I think a curveball is going to be thrown, because there's no way Thrall is going to simply give up the Doomhammer for us. No, he'd rather die with it in his hand and go down in flames. The Rumour Mill, who get together every Tuesday for tea and crumpets, have come up with a very interesting slant, saying that we actually go back through the Dark Portal to the dead body of Orgrim Doomhammer, who died facing Blackhand in Talador. It's his Doomhammer weapon which we will acquire because it never fulfilled its destiny in that timeline. We take it back through the Dark Portal and set it on its way to glory. So there should be 2 Doomhammers in our timeline in Legion. One in Thrall's possession and one in Shammy's possession. So the chances that Thrall's going to die in Legion, I'm going to put at a big fat goose egg. 0. I just can't see Chris Metzen letting that cash cow go. And besides, who else is going to kill steal the final boss? Duh. And that brings us on to our final victim. Maybe Illidan Stormrage, the Betrayer. Although I personally think the Betrayed, but that's a completely different video for another time. I think one thing that is perfectly clear about Illidan is he believed in stopping the Legion at all costs. And boy, did he give up everything to do that. His reward? Well, to be killed, internally imprisoned. Yeah, it's not pretty good, is it? So anyway, we know that Illidan is actually going to be stepping into the good guy role, at least seemingly, for part of Legion, as he will be overlooking the demon hunters. But I'm absolutely positive there's going to be more than meets the eye when it comes to this chappie in the expansion, and his storyline might go off into plenty of little peaks and troughs and curves and whatnot. But does that mean Illidan is going to die in Legion? Is he going to have some sort of redemption storyline or anything like that? Well, maybe, maybe not. But I think it'd be a bit weird of Blizzard to bring Illidan back only to kill him off almost immediately. No, I think Illidan Stormrage has actually got a very good chance of surviving Legion in one form or another. And I would only put the fact of him dying at around about 25%. I think the World of Warcraft is far more interesting with this guy kicking around. And I think Blizzard are probably on the same page as regards to that. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Play along in the comment section down below using these 5 people. Put your percentage chances of what you think their efforts of survival are going to be in Legion. And if you enjoyed the vid, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.